Welcome to a special edition Behind the Why. We call these Behind the Why Shorts. We're going to try to get this out to you every Wednesday. So in the meantime, keep looking for us on that big weekend drop. But just like on the weekend drop, remember to hit the bell, subscribe, and like. And what I really would like you to do is make sure you share these programs. We get as many people as possible involved in the conversation. So let's get in. Behind the Why Shorts. Last night was the first night of the RNC, and I couldn't help but contrast it to the themes that I'd heard from last week's DNC. It was so depressing. Everything was horrible, and I never heard one issue of platform that they were going to try to achieve. It was all about Trump is so bad that you have to vote for us. And it was sad. I did not see people who were proud and happy to be Americans. Now contrast that to last night RNC. That was a plethora of people who marched across that stage, some who were obviously very professional and used to speaking in the public eye, and there was others that were like scared to death. You could tell by the way they were standing. They were just scared to be there. But they had a story to tell. And they told the stories of how this president and the actions that he's taken from helping small businesses stay alive and helping those businesses float in the areas where the federal help was actually welcomed, unlike we see here in LA, where Maxine Waters did not get the help for her people, and those businesses there are going out of business like crazy. And especially the black-owned businesses are shutting down at almost a 2-to-1 rate compared to other minority groups. And so we see that this president is extending help, but we have this political opposition in place that is willing to let its people burn just to get them to hate Trump. Well, last night, RNC, there was the circle of hostages that had been released. Did you hear about this on the news? The circle of hostages that had been brought home by this president that had been languishing, some for years, in foreign prisons that had been unjustly sequestered there. But this president did what he do. He brought them home. You know, it's so funny to see the list of accomplishments that he rolled across the screen last night. He talked about the hit from his campaign promise. I'm going to build a wall. Then they showed the slide, the wall going up. Is that awesome or what? Is that awesome or what? He talked about the fact that he was going to get employment up for blacks and other minorities. And guess what? Before this whole shutdown hit us and unemployment as a result of the shutdown came, he had done not only what he promised, but exceedingly and above that. You know, I was watching last night when Herschel Walker was talking about the president, and I didn't know that they were friends, but he was just hitting on some things. And I thought again about historically black colleges and universities. The first president, now write this down somebody, the first president to permanently fund historically black colleges and universities. Not bad work for a racist, huh? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I listen to these people talk about the whole ventilator situation. And what do we find? We find that there are so many ventilators everywhere. So first they argue, the president's not getting ventilators. And then they looked at the actual numbers and realized there was like 62,000 ventilators in just so much that we have a surplus. And now what do they say? Well, he overpaid for them. There is just no break back on this. These guys, they just want to see the union burn. So I asked the question, why hate America? Why hate America? I listened to the young man, well, he's an older man, old enough to be my grandfather, who stood and talked about how he came here from, I think it was from Cuba. And he talked about his father gave him this last plea. You can't fail here because there's nowhere else to go. There's no new country, new world to be discovered. Guys, this is it. This is all we got. And yet, the people here in this country has gone over backwards to try to hate on America. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see why. I saw a commercial today from the president of Mexico trying to mock the president of the United States. Had all these red hats on, different things that Trump was supposed to have said and all this stuff, just slang stuff. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, at the end he says, you can't vote for me, but please vote for somebody. And he points at different things. Or he says, or even this, and he points at a potted plant. He goes, even another bush. Yeah, they would love to have another Bush back, trust me. Anybody but Trump, I'm telling you. Because why? Because the swamp hates Trump, period. People ask me, why did I vote for Trump? I tell them, not because he's a Republican, but because he's an American who would put America first. So we think about all these things that have gone on, guys. Think about it. The young father who worked with President Trump after his daughter had been killed in the school shooting. You know, this great work that he put together to combat the violence and the availability or the ability for violence to happen in our schools, and the media totally ignored it. Totally ignored it. You explain to me how this works in a country where we're supposed to have a free press, an objective media. No, doesn't happen. So this is our president. Day 2 of the RNC tonight is our time to see something fantastic happen. So what I challenge you to do is get behind the why. When you start thinking about what the Democrats are saying, when they give you this platform about they're going to raise taxes, why? On an economy that's already burdened, they're going to raise taxes? Why? They want to shut down society again. Why? These are the same people that can't figure out how to stop their cities from burning. Yet now they want to do the same thing to the nation. You got to ask yourself, ¿Qué pasa? Why? I don't get it either. But I tell you what, if you're like me, you're going to keep on digging. And all this stuff that's coming up, we're going to get behind the why. So until next time, remember, righteousness exalts a nation, but a sin is a reproach to any people. You who are called by the name of Christ, pursue righteousness. Look at the platforms of the parties you want to support and ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Until next time, get behind the why.